Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Today is day 8 of our Brussels Beer Project Advent calendar and I am very curious as to what they have in store for us today. I'm guessing it's another Brussels Beer Project native beer. We've had the 4 Babylons, so we might have the original Babylon tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. But let's see what we have today. I found number 8 here yesterday. It's right underneath number 7. Again, a BBP bottle cap. Yeah, so I'm guessing there are no other breweries involved this year. I think we can be sure about that today. Haha, nice. The Delta IPA, Brussels Beer Project, 6% ABV and a Saison IPA. I'm starting to notice a theme here this year. Delta's our first elected beer, an exotic view of Brussels, bitter and lively. 100% barley malt, hazy golden blonde, Belgian Saison yeast, crisp and dry, and Challenger Smaragd, Citra, Cascade and Mosaic hops for fruity exotic notes. Alrighty. So indeed there is a theme. We've had the 4 contenders for the Babylon, the new Babylon taste. And Grosberta or King also was one of the elected beers, that fought to 3 other beers, and this one as well. Delta, the name came from their very first brews. People, I think about 800 to 1,000 people in Brussels could have a taste, and then they had to choose between Alpha, Beta, Delta and Gamma, and Delta was the winner. So this is not their first brew, but this is definitely the first beer that they've commercialized. And it's still a hit. I haven't had one of these for 3 years, I think. They made this in 2013. Officially they began in 2014. So yeah, we're in for a treat. And if I see Saison yeast, but only Saison yeast, so not a double fermentation, I am guessing this might be very thirst quenching, very bitter and dry. And then I see Challenger, Smaragd, Citra, Cascade and Mosaic hops. I am very familiar with Citra, Cascade and Mosaic. Challenger, I haven't had that much of it, and Smaragd is new to me. Well, I've had a Delta before, so not that new, but... So yeah, as usual, I'm very curious. I feel like I got a lot of Cascade and a bit of Citra in there. And by that I mean I taste, or I smell sweetness, I smell tropical fruit again, I smell lychee, papaya. Yeah, mainly that. A bit of citrus scents in there as well, but of course that's the Citra hop. And that sweet edge again, like melon or banana. Again, a beautiful golden yellow color. Nice dense head of foam, tidy bubbles, a lot of pearls. It's rather hazy. Pretty white foam. Still very aromatic. So the aromas aren't that volatile, they stay in place. Of course, we do have a lot of foam here. Yeah, let's have a taste. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a very nicely balanced beer, and I do mean balanced between the dryness of the saison yeast and the fruitiness of the tropical hops. Now bear in mind that this beer dates back to 2013, 2014, so I think that might be about 2 or 3 years before the huge the IPA craze here in Belgium and worldwide actually. I love how the initial taste is like very refreshing, very quenching, and then you get hit by all the fruits and all the aromas, the hop aromas, and somewhere around that there's this packaging of yeastiness. The esters come out very, very well, and the aftertaste is like fruity yet very, very dry. I think this is an awesome beer. And if I'm not mistaken, they even released the recipe for this beer for homebrewers. I have to look that up, but I do believe that Brussels Beer Project actually released 2 or 3 recipes for homebrewing. They might even have made a YouTube series about it. I gotta check that out. If I find it, I'll link it down below here in the comments, as per usual, or maybe I'll just stitch in a card here somewhere. But yeah, also that's such a Brussels Beer Project thing to do. They have a lot of content online, so how I make my thumbnails is actually I just download their labels and their backgrounds, and then I stick things on there. There are a few things that I actually had to isolate myself, but they also release recipes in a nice JPEG or PNG image form, rastered out with the entire the cooking steps and when to add what, like a real detailed recipe, not just a list of ingredients, with the same style as their label. So yeah, typical Brussels Beer Project. Love how those guys do that. Besides, I often get the question, Cedric, why do you draw in air when you taste beer? Basically, that's because if I draw in air, it takes along the aromas and it pushes it up into the nasal cavity, where unfortunately I have a chronic inflammation. But so I have to draw that air to the back a bit more and circulate it through the nasal cavity so I get more aroma out of it. Mainly if your beer is very cold, that's a bit of a help, but also with warmed up beers, with very aromatic beers, or with beers that are a bit too thin but you want to draw the aromas out, that's a good trick. Maybe I should do a video in the future just about how to taste and why we do things like this. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that because I ordered in sushi, and coincidentally I think this beer is gonna go very well with that. The saltiness of the smoked and dried fish, or well, not the dried fish, but with some smoked fish and the fatty fish, the salmon in the sushi, and the avocados, I think that will go very well with the tropical aromas of this beer and with the dryness of that saison yeast. So yeah, as usual, if you guys liked it, thumbs up. Want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then you'll get a ding from me tomorrow when I upload the next video, which will be number 9. And since we've established that they're all gonna be Brussels Beer Projects, I'm very curious as to what they're gonna pull out of their sleeve to keep it interesting. Might there be a Dansard series in there? Maybe 2? Fingers crossed. Cheers, you guys. See you again tomorrow.